What's good, Raider Nation? Welcome to our take. This is Spicy Raider Girl here. I'm here with Scotty Waddy Raider 1. It was a disappointing week, but hey, keep calm. It's just week 2. Let's manage some expectations. Let's talk about what's working, what's not, what looks good, what doesn't, the challenges, where it needs improvement, and let's look ahead into next week and try to come up with a 2-0 2-1 record after week 3. What's good, Scotty Waddy? And if you're, remember, light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe, and you can also join to become a member. And if you're playing along with us tonight, the drinking game alert is keep calm, y'all. Keep calm.
That's it, man. Did we expect anything different than a 1-1? This is pretty, this is we're on par, we're on track. Let's chill for a minute. Let's chill for a minute and see what happens. Everybody's going crazy yesterday, but I have a little bit of a different opinion on it. I was mad after the game. I was there. Appreciate the tickets there, Spicy.
Hey.
But yeah, we're 1-1. We're still 1-1. We're not 0-2.
Good little leeway into a promo right here. Yes, Scotty won those home opener tickets from the raffle that I had, and we are having another one right now. I'm having another one for another Monday night football game against the Dallas Cowboys. It's only $10 to enter, $10. I mean, you can't even buy a drink for $10. Enter, and even if you can't attend, those tickets are going for $510 minimum on Ticketmaster. Flip that, you know what, and make yourself $1,000. That's what I say. Put that $10 in. Hope if you can't make it, hope to make $1,000.
It's on your it's on your page there, right, Spicy? The numbers and all that.
Yep. Go to Spicy Raider Girl on Facebook, and you'll see it there. But Scotty, what's your hot take for this Monday night football game?
I'm gonna tell you. There's a few positives that I can actually take out of this. So one thing I'd like to say first of all is, if we were to flip the weeks, I think we'd be singing a different tune, because everybody's down and out right now. Oh man, we looked horrible against the Chargers. We did. We did. We looked bad. We looked bad against the Chargers. But if you were to flip the weeks, let's say we played the Chargers the first game and the results were the same, and then the next game we go to New England and we play New England and the results were the same. Our hopes would be up right now instead of down. And it's the same 1-1. Okay? Now, where are my Charger fans out here? Y'all tuning in? I know there's that little mama from Kansas City that tunes in every once in a while. Where are my Charger fans at? Because let me talk to you real quick. Listen, Charger fans. First of all, you guys got held to 3 points in the second half. And might I add that this Raider team has held 2 teams now to 6 points in 4 quarters after the half. That is a positive. That is a positive. We're making some adjustments. We do need some help. Don't get me wrong. But that is a positive. 6 points in 2 games after the half, that's strong. That's strong. Now, Charger fans, we were playing with the broken down Bowers. Now, it's my opinion. I think Bowers may should have sat out this game. He wasn't crisp. He wasn't cutting. He wasn't moving the way he normally moves. I'm not saying anything. It is what it is. But listen, Charger fans, our offensive line are from our center to the 2 guards on the outside. Okay? Need help. We need to get JPJ back in at center. Period.
I was going to say that.
Let's make that adjustment now. Stop playing games with me, Pete Carroll. Let's make that adjustment now, Chip Kelly. Okay? Let's make that adjustment now and get us some guards on the ends that can hold up. We got the Grant. We drafted him. Throw him in there, because Meredith just ain't cutting it. So, Charger fans, we're a little bit depleted. Now, on this show, I'm Spicy. If I can speak for you, on this show, we do not come on here talking about the refs cheated us, the NFL's against us. We do not do that. We've done that one time, and it was blatant. And that was it was blatantly awful. Now, I'm going to tell you something. 2 pass interferences that could have flipped this game were not called. And there were 2 roughing the passers that could have flipped this game, was not called. I'm also going to point out there was a holding call. I can't remember who. I'm sorry. But there was a holding call in the second half where Geno Smith ran out there on a 3rd and long, got the first down, and that was a piss poor holding call called on us, man. It was horrible, and that could have flipped this game. Now, I'm talking about listen, Charger fans, y'all think you can put up a little 20 points on us? Listen, Raider fans, y'all were complaining last week about we only got 20. Well, wait a minute. The Chargers are a top 5 team, and they only put 20 on us. Okay? Let's fix a little bit of this offense. 1-1 is not the end of the world. Let's calm down, and I'll be the first to tell you I was pissed after that game, but we got to manage our expectations. Everybody, we wanted to be 2-0, but when the Chiefs went 0-2, we really let's be honest. Be real with yourselves, Raider fans. We really wanted to go up 2-0. We really wanted, and our expectations skyrocketed for that. And it let us down a little bit more than I think was normal. So I'm saying right here, right now, let's just stay calm. I know Geno didn't put up his best performance. He's got some things to work. That's okay. That's okay. But I think we're gonna be okay. I think we got something to look for. Week 3 against Washington is gonna be a tough test. But all in all, I don't think I don't think it was as much of a failure as it's being portrayed. To be very honest with you.
Yeah, Scott, you touched on a lot there. We're going to go over some of our hot takes for the show. We're going to get a little more into depth in this, but we're going to go over what's working, what's not working, what looked good, the challenge areas, what needs improvement, and looking ahead. And you kind of did your overall of all of those just then. I want to touch on a lot of the things you said, but we'll start from the top here. Because, like you said, I think expectations were a little bit higher. I thought this could have been a toss-up game. Either team could have won this. I was really hoping the Raiders could have pulled it out at home. Obviously, that did not happen with an abysmal performance, in my opinion. Okay, 3 field goals, no touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. That's an abysmal performance. But that's just one side of it, right? We're going to try to see what we could do to get better here. The offense obviously struggled. Geno Smith had 180 passing yards. Like I said, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It was tough to watch, to be honest. Tough, a little boring, a little disappointing. They failed to reach the end zone, as we keep talking about. Like, those things have got to change, right? Those things have definitely got to change. We've got to be able to put points on the board. We talk about this 20 marker. I'd like to see that, but hey, we just want touchdowns at this point. The defense did play good. People are still ragging on the defense, but you made good points on what the defense did good. The defense is holding it down. They can't play both sides of the ball. The defense is holding it down. I think they're doing their job.
They gave us 3 chances to win at the end of that game. We stopped the Chargers 3 times. We had a chance to win this game.
Scotty, what did you have this game? What was in your prediction show? What did you have? Did you have the Raiders winning this one?
I thought we would win it. Our season opener, I thought we would win it. The Chargers always play us tough. We split them the majority of the time. I don't know that historically, but it seems that way.
That way.
It always seems to be, and it always, I think, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know the data, but it always seems to be flipped. The home team always seems to lose for some reason. But
I know, I've noticed that.
However,
I mean, and the thing is, it's like maybe it's because with these particular 2 teams, there really is no home field advantage in one stadium or the other, if you think about it, right? So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough game. We got to travel to the East Coast again against another really good team. Obviously, I'm sure we've all heard the star quarterback, sophomore season over there for Jayden Daniels. He is listed day-to-day. He was injured. This could be up for debate. I tend to think that if he does not play, that gives the Raiders a better chance of winning. I had the Raiders going into Washington, playing the Commanders, losing this game. I hope that's not the case. I think once the leader of a team goes down, it definitely helps the opposing team. That's going to be in the back of their minds. And they've got he's played for several teams, kind of a journeyman, I suppose, but former Raider quarterback Marcus Mariota is going to be potentially starting for the Commanders.
Yeah. I don't know. Raider Paul over here, I see you saying he's out for Sunday. I haven't heard that to be definitive. Maybe you have. But I know that it was questionable. At least, but you're absolutely right. We do have a better chance without Jayden Daniels being there. We got Marcus Mariota. I am truly hoping that we've changed things enough, just enough, that we don't go into another game with a has-been quarterback and make him look like a damn superstar like we do every damn year. It seems like we
You
always
do
make
say
them
that a lot.
quarterbacks. I'm hoping we don't make Marcus Mariota look like a Pro Bowler because of the hell he is. So,
Well, I mean, listen, Justin Herbert's not a bad quarterback,
not at
so
all. Not at all. He's not a
but
bad
put some.
quarterback.
I think you always hate to give praise to another team, but I think put some respect on his name. I
Sure.
actually think that the Chargers are the best team in the AFC West at this time. I mean, in
At
this
this time, you
season,
can't dispute that.
season,
You can't dispute it right now. You
yeah,
definitely can't. You know, you definitely can't dispute the fact that they're the best team in the AFC West. And you got to put them at least bare minimum in the top 5. And I'm talking at week 2. I'll settle down to you if you want to say settle down.
settle down.
I got you. But at this point right now, I mean, they've beaten both of their division rivals. They play another division rival, which they should win next week, Denver. So they got a real good, strong chance at going 3-0, and confidence level is going to be up. Jim Harbaugh's a good coach. They got a good quarterback back there. It's a good team, guys. We lost by 11 points. It's a good team. It's a good team.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, honestly, I kind of felt like it was the best word. It was just disappointing. Disappointing performance overall. And let's talk a little bit about that because I feel like we're not using our weapons. I know, Brock Bowers, I guess, isn't at 100%, but I feel like he could have taken more. I think Genty only had 11 touches. Was it 11?
Yep.
11 something touches. Like that. There was 0 pass rush. The pass rush was terrible. So the defensive play calling to me looked pretty bad. I don't know why Mad Max is backpedaling, kind of playing more of a safety sort of role instead of just rushing every time. I'm not sure what was going on there.
We saw that a few times at the end of last season, and we spoke about it on the show. He's coming off the line and backpedaling, kind of being a spy. It's a little bit weird. Patrick Graham, I guess, is trying some different stuff with them, different looks with them. I text you.
I want him to see is looking down the quarterback's mother effing throat. And you're not going to do that backpedaling. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. No, and I texted you. I don't know, around the third quarter, and I was like, "Hang on, I'll be back. Let me get Herbert a lazy boy so he can go chill back there because he had all day. He had no pressure back there." But at the end of the day, we made our adjustments. Whatever Patrick Graham is doing at the half, he made his adjustments, and they only got 3 points on us in the half.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put words to that.
Well, I think this is how you put words to it. I think we as Raiders fans, we have to manage expectations, right? Every year there's a changing of the reins. We have a new quarterback every year, a new head coach every year, a new general manager every year. I knew this, I knew that. We've got a rookie running back, all these different things. And I think the expectations are high because we're tired of waiting and we see all these changes made in the offseason and we want them to win. But I mean, we're going to have to be patient, unfortunately. I know everyone's going to say, oh, we've been patient enough. We haven't won in 40 plus years. We haven't really had any success in, 20 plus years. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, we have to manage expectations. Chargers are a good team. And they're just not going to come and have this sort of Super Bowl run season. It's just, I just don't foresee it happening. I mean, all we can hope for here is hope we can have a positive record, maybe make a push for a wild card or something. But I mean, this stuff we're always going to be upset when they lose, but are we really expecting them to win all of these games? Yeah. I know Pete Carroll's going to stand at the podium and say yes. We've heard him say that, right? And that's what we want to hear from our coach. But as fans, we got to be a little realistic.
Yeah, no. And again, I think the main thing we got to look at is the 3 interior linemen. That's the main thing we got to look at, because if we can get Genty going,
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure. Genty had he flashed I mean, he was out there spinning like a top. He was out there. He was doing his best, but he was
Incredible,
getting hit.
incredible balance, incredible
Yeah,
athleticism.
yeah,
I don't think we've really ever seen we haven't really seen the burst of speed yet, but the balance is there.
absolutely. And he's got the vision. But what are you going to do if your offensive lineman is getting pushed back into you? You
Yeah.
you, you can't. There's not much you can do with that. We got to fix that offensive line. If we can get the run going, if we can fix that problem, Genty gets going, then the pass gets going. Gino can throw the ball. Everybody's out on Gino this week, but last week he threw for 362, so he can throw the ball. So and he does have weapons to throw to. Let's get Bowers back up. I hope it didn't prolong. I hope he can heal up because he wasn't Bowers like we've seen for a season and a game. He was not that on Monday night. And if we can get that offensive line, I think we have a good chance to do what we need to do.
Yeah, let's really pinpoint this because there's clearly some issues. I'm going to start with the issue being, which to me came out of nowhere, surprise announcement that Jordan Meredith was going to be our starting center this season. Jackson Powers Johnson, as we know, was the starting center in his rookie season last year.
Your mic went muted there, Spicy. Your mic muted there, Spicy.
Yeah. Oh, I did that, but thank you. We see, we were surprising to see JPJ move from that position. He did make some rookie mistakes, but I don't think Meredith is cutting it. I don't think
No,
Meredith is
no.
cutting it there. And was it a surprise to you too? I mean, he was been in on the practice squad, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, he's a starting center, and we're gonna move JPJ to right guard, and I feel like they're both struggling in those perspective positions.
Yeah, I think that we got to get Meredith out of there, move JPJ to center. I think we're gonna have to deal with Parham, and I think we should give Charles Grant a shot. I know he's a rookie. I know he's gonna have a hard time, but let him have a hard time now at the beginning of the season. Let's not forget our O-line was really trash at the beginning of last season too, and they came around week 6, 7, and started doing something. Everybody's talking about Colton Miller. He came around at the end of the season. He's back healthy, seemingly to me. Let's fix that offensive line. Let's get Genty going. If we can get Genty going, man, that boy's going to do something. He's going to do something, but we haven't been able to showcase him because of that interior, the interior three.
Yeah, and I read today that JPJ is on concussion protocol.
Yep.
So we'll see how long that lingers and if he'll be in the game. I don't know. I think at this point, we talk about making adjustments and things like that, and we're also talking about being patient. So what do we do? What do you think we should do here? What the Raiders should do here? If JPJ is active and can play, do you put him back at center?
Yes, 100%. No doubt about it. I get Meredith out of there.
Because I know as Raiders were quick to fire everybody, right? Yeah. Fire the coach, bench the quarterback. Everyone should be two. And we're 1-1. Everyone goes to the extreme and let's cancel everybody.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to jump on that sort of rhetoric and ridiculousness and kind of go that way. But if we're seeing things that can easily be changed, and I think this is one of them, I think we make the change.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think you got to do it now. While every team, my opinion, I've said this, the first three games of the season are actually the preseason. The preseason is a joke already.
Well, let's just trying it. That's who's going to make the team.
Yeah, but you got 50 people in there that are just being plugged in to see what the hell, and I get it. That's fine. But your preseason is the first three plays of the three games of the season. So let's plug him in now. Let's get him in now. And if he's going to work, he's going to work. And if he's not, he's going to not. But Meredith, that just can't happen. That just can't happen.
And maybe that sets the tone too to the locker room. Sure. Hey, we're not afraid to make changes. If you're not performing in your position, then we're going to find the guy who can. Yep. So maybe that's he puts all the players on alert.
Yep. Pete's Carroll moniker is what? Compete. So let's compete. You want it? Take it.
Yeah.
Take it, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's that O line is just the major problem, and I think that the some calls were I think flipped this game a lot. I think we would have had a lot closer game, and I'm going to tell you the 20-9 was I don't know, but I think we would have had a lot closer game if we had JPJ in there, and I'll just call it like this: we had JPJ in there, and Brock Bowers was 100%. I think you're seeing a different game. I'm not telling you we would have dominated. I'm not saying that, but I think you're seeing a different game.
Yeah.
I think you're seeing at least a damn touchdown. Can we, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
come on. You know, Geno Smith was running for his life back there. He was doing the best he could, and he made a lot of mistakes. He threw into double and triple coverage so many times. And, you know, I go back and I look at it. I'm like, damn, well, what did you want him to do? You know, he had – and then there's some balls, some 50-50 balls that Geno Smith threw up there. But he was throwing them low, and we got the tallest wide receivers in the league. You know, throw him up there, man. Let him go get it. Let him go get it. So those are mistakes that Geno Smith did absolutely make. He's not getting a pass. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of different factors that played into his bad play also.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, you've kind of already segued into it. But yeah, let's talk about the challenges and the areas that need improvement, because there are definitely a lot of them. And like you said, they're still working their way into it. This is only game 2 that this entire unit has played with each other, including coaching staff to offense, defense, and everyone in between, right? This is game 2. So there's going to be a lot of growing pains here. Obviously, the turnovers are killing the drives, the interceptions. Unfortunately, Geno is now, after only 2 games, leading the league with 4 interceptions, 3 in 1 game alone. So that obviously has to change. The sacks have been costly. He's not having a lot of time back back there. Geno doesn't have a lot of time, and he doesn't seem to appear to move very well, or to be able to make something out of nothing. That's a bit concerning to me. I would like to see him be able to prolong the play, move a little bit, let the play develop a little more, and see what he can do. And obviously, there's issues. Scoring in the red zone is an issue. It's not happening. Finishing drives, that isn't happening. We can't turn things into touchdowns. The consistency is bad. The second half of week 1, you know, was good, but week 2 was off. It's like there's no rhythm. They look like they're trying to figure. Well, in this game particularly, right? I feel like they look like they're trying to figure it out.
Right. What's up, Travis? What's going on, my brother? Trying to figure out now. Let me ask this. If I told you that you have a team with a new GM, new coach, new OC, new quarterback, new running back, and they're 1-1, would we say, I guess they're trying to figure things out?
Yeah, of course. That's why we got to keep calm and manage expectations. And that's exactly.
So to say that, you know, we can go to the East Coast and win a game, okay, sounds good. To say that we can hold a very good team to 20 points, that's a positive. We got to build off of that, you know. So I'm not giving up on Geno. I know everybody wants to throw him away. I know everybody's saying, "Oh man,
see." I'm not down with that. I don't even want to entertain that talk. It's ridiculous. We can't just fire the quarterback and the head coach after every loss. Like, Raiders fans, calm down. Like, I'm so tired of that. Honestly,
calm down.
It's not working. You wanted McDaniels fired. You got Pierce. You wanted Pierce fired. That's like, that's not work. That's not that method's not working.
Right. And you don't have. You're talking about a different caliber when you're talking about McDaniels and Pierce and Carroll.
Totally.
I'm sorry, that's not even in the same. Carroll's not even in their category, or I should say, they're not.
I should say the other. Yeah.
They're not in Carroll's category. I'm sorry. So, you know, chill. Let's chill. And like I said, if the weeks had been reversed, everybody would have been like, man, the Raiders, here we go again. And then if Geno had come back and put up 362 in week 2 instead of week 1,
That's
we'd have
true.
been like, oh, damn, we got something, right? What's the same damn thing? Weeks were just, the numbers are the same, you know? So, again, week 6, 7.
Yeah, I think that a little bit comes from that though. It's just like it was really bad. I mean, you've got to score a touchdown.
Sure.
You've 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. You know, if we're quote unquote picking on just Geno at this particular moment, and I know it's not all his fault. That was a definitely. It sounds cliche, but that was a team loss.
Yeah, and if Geno's going to get the criticism, then why isn't Genty getting the criticism? Right?
Well, I mean,
it's got to be fair because you know
I
what?
didn't see Genty make mistakes though.
But Geno has more of a chance to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Genty, the only thing he can do to make a mistake is fumble. But at the end of the day, they're both heavily dependent on that offensive line.
Well, listen, you got to get Genty the ball more than 11 times. 11 touches isn't going to cut it.
Let's talk about that because I was at the game, and it's hard. It's harder when you're at the game. You were watching it on TV. So let's talk about that. And I believe we texted each other during the game, and I was like, why do we have Zamir White in there when we got this flashy new running back? Why is Bowers out of the game? And I'm like, am I seeing this right? I'm a little bit farther on the other side of the field. Why aren't these players in the damn game? So what was going on? Chip Kelly, why aren't we using the players that we got that are high caliber players? Bowers, I can see that it's the injury. I know that's why he didn't play. But why didn't we push the issue with Genty a little bit more? Do you not have confidence in your offensive line? Again, all roads are leading back.
Yeah, but if you don't have confidence in your offensive line, it's the same offensive line that's blocking for Zamir. So
Zamir wasn't getting anywhere though,
and he's not getting anywhere either. So I don't like if that's the explanation, that to me that doesn't make sense.
You're right.
The only thing I can think is they're just trying to figure it out. That's all I can think. They're trying to figure it out. Maybe they don't even know yet.
Sure. And the thing is, Genty, you cannot have another game with only 11 carries. That just no. You have to establish that run, no matter what. And since they didn't establish the run, that's why Geno couldn't get the damn ball to anybody because we didn't establish the run, and they knew they had us shut down. They didn't even have Khalil Mack.
I know.
Who has a career damn game with us every damn time he plays.
Every time, seriously.
Every time.
Every time. He's like, you know what, Raiders? I'm going to prove to you that you shouldn't have traded me. He always comes with it.
That's the only non-quarterback that we make an all-star pro every time he plays us.
Seriously.
And he wasn't even in the damn game. So what, Chip Kelly's got to take a lot of heat for this too. If you want to give it to Geno, you got to give it to Chip. You have to.
And let's talk about it, right? Some of the top running backs in the league, like Saquon Barkley, are getting 17, 18, 19 touches per game.
Minimum. Yeah.
That's on average. We're taking an average here, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's definitely needs to change. We've spoken all the weapons that the Raiders have now, and I didn't see them utilize them.
Right. So that just seemed odd to me to see that. And like I said, that's on Chip Kelly's shoulders. That's squarely on his shoulders. Now, and it's. Do you want me to hold on?
Yeah. I just want to, and we can circle back, but we saw Tom Brady in the booth. So is that on Chip Kelly's shoulders? Are we looking at clearly he's in the booth with the headset. He's got his they try to, I feel like the Raiders and everyone try to downplay how involved he is, but you're not sitting in a booth with a headset and be, Tom Brady and not have an opinion on something.
Here's the thing. You're right. And I agree with that. Tom Brady's going to have an opinion on it. However, just because Tom Brady was a great quarterback doesn't mean he's a great coach.
I'm not saying he is, but
I'm saying
Because we don't know yet. I'm saying you said it was strictly on Chip Kelly. I'm wondering, do we know that? Do we
Well,
know that?
I think a lot of this weighs heavily on Chip
Oh,
Kelly,
for sure. Because
not
no one's going
not
to admit
strictly on
Brady's.
him.
No one's going to admit or give us any sort of inkling that Brady's in his ear.
Right.
So yeah,
Sure.
it's for that reason. Yes, of course. This is on Chip Kelly, whether Brady's putting his input in or not.
Right. Sure. And I'll tell you, Tom Brady may be a good coach. I don't know. He's never coached, but he also may not be a good coach. We know he can play, but can he call plays? Can he offer instinct that he has, if you will, to the quarterback? No. That's on the quarterback. Can he offer insight? Yeah. But that doesn't mean that transfers,
Yeah, it doesn't.
it doesn't.
Take
So
someone like Tony Romo. I think
exactly.
like if you listen to that man speak when he's broadcasting, he can see the whole field. He's like, this is what's coming, this is what's going to happen. But then when he was on the field as a quarterback, he couldn't translate that into anything.
Say it louder for the people in the back. Say it louder. 100%. This guy's analysis is spectacular.
Spectacular. He knows what's coming. He knows the play that's coming. You put him in a uniform and put a ball in his hand, and he's like, huh?
Forget about it. Exactly. And it's the same thing in reverse. So
Right.
I don't know what impact Tom Brady is having on this. But at the end of the day, Chip Kelly ran a pretty good scheme in the first game. He had some. He was running plays that aren't being run in the NFL in the first game, and he just fell flat on his face in the second game. So what's up, Omar, my boy? What's going on, my man? So some of the blame it has to lie on Chip Kelly also. But again, you really can't run anything. I got to go back to the offensive line. You can't run a damn thing if your three interior linemen aren't worth the damn, and they aren't worth the damn.
Right.
So you guys don't know that are watching this, but we have a group chat and we're all talking about things, and we were talking about. I mentioned we're going to see what this offensive line is or is not without JPJ in there, and we saw it, and we saw Meredith fail at center. He failed. And so JPJ has to go to center. If they got some other plans, I don't know what the hell they are. But JPJ has to go back to center. And we just got to deal with the guard situation as it is. We got to deal with who we got. But I'm thinking we need to give Charles Grant a shot.
I've heard that. I think Alpha and Omega Forever said something like that in one of the comments.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments there. I don't know if you want to get to some of them there. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll try to touch on them. But yeah, so all we can do right now is look ahead. Obviously, unfortunately, we want to put that game kind of in the rearview mirror. It was a disappointing loss for sure. We'll catch them again in LA. Hopefully, the Raiders fans will show up and show out. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but you were in the building. How was the quote unquote home field advantage? Were the Raiders representing?
So as a lot of people know, I take my son to the first home game of every season, and this is the first home game that I saw we had an advantage. I would say, my estimation from what I saw, looking from the top down, I think we were about 70-30 in there. There were a lot of Charger fans, but we were well represented in there. It's usually not the case. From what I've seen on TV and from the games that I've been to in Vegas.
It looked better on TV. I'll say that. It looked better on TV than it normally does in terms of home crowd.
Yeah, and I think I saw something, StubHub sends out something, and I think they were saying 80-20. I don't know how they're coming up with that. Sometimes they ask you what team you're going for or whatever. But we were well represented in there. It looked like a home game for the Raiders this time, and I think that's the first time that I've been to a game that looked like a home game for the Raiders. So that's a positive,
Travis was in the building. He said it was heavy Raiders. is.
Yeah.
I feel like this is gonna have to be our dream. Omar, if you're listening, I don't know if you want to call in and talk about this a little bit, but I feel like we're gonna hear about this from Omar a lot. This is going to be the Omar drinking game. Chip should have used 2 tight end sets to help the O line. The amount of times I've heard 2 tight end sets from Omar in 2 games already. Let's just say that
Hey,
he's not wrong. But again, we got to look at like Brock wasn't really. Unfortunately, Brock Bowers wasn't really a huge factor in this game. Unfortunately, there were kind of being a little cautious, if you will. I'll say it like that.
yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. And at the end of the day, at week 2, and hindsight is 2020, I think we should have sat Brock Bowers out that game. Because he didn't look crisp. He wasn't cutting crisp as he usually does. He just wasn't as sharp as he usually as we're used to him being. So I'm hoping, I really, really hope that he's able to bounce back for this next game and he's sharp. And if he's not, Pete Carroll, sit him out for this game. Let it be what it is. Let it be what it is, and let's move forward. But
Well, if
Omar,
they do that, I will say that. If they decide to do, excuse me, if they decide to do that, I will say this. He suits up, he dresses out, you don't make any announcements because we don't need the Commanders knowing that he's not going to be in and making some sort of adjustments or anything like that. They need to expect that arguably the best tight end in the game is going to be on the field.
yeah, yep. The only thing I disagree with is arguably, but okay. That's my boy. But
and
yeah,
Omar disagrees with you as well. He didn't put arguably in here. He added 2 actually. He joined Michael Mayer in that one. We have 2 of the best tight ends in the league. They should be out there together
absolutely.
a lot.
Yep, they should. They should. That's what we got them for, to run that 12 personnel. And they're both of them are excellent tight ends. Both of them are excellent blockers. Both of them are dangerous on the field, and they definitely should be used. There's no doubt about it. Again, maybe everybody learned from this game. Maybe the coaching staff learned from this game. Hey man, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe everybody learned. But at the end of the day, the personnel changes. I was seeing Bowers run in, Mayer run out, Zamir run in, Genty run. I was like, what are we doing here?
Oh, you even saw Dylan Labe at running back. Yes. Which surprised. I mean, usually we see him on special teams. He's taking the kickoff. He's running it back. I can't recall the last time I saw him get several carries. How many carries did he end up with?
I don't.
It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot, but it was. I feel like it was more than I ever remember.
Right. Yeah. They used him a lot more than I think any game since last year that he's ever been used. It seemed like to me, and good. I'm glad they're using him, but you got this shiny new bright object that just came from Boise State back there, bro. Come on now, But again, you don't have the offensive line for him. You don't have the offensive line for him.
Okay, excuse me. I guess they weren't carries. It says he has 2 receptions for 17 yards in that spot.
Yeah. So I mean, either way, that offensive line, everything is coming back to that offensive line, and I know we can switch up if you want to be done with the offense, but we can switch up to the defense. And we were getting dealt with a lot in that secondary, but Jeremy Chin had a good game. Palamau, yeah, he had an okay game. He wasn't, he blew a few coverages on there, it seemed like to me. At the end of the day, though, we still held 2 teams to 6 points after the half. Whatever Patrick Graham is doing, I like it. But Chip Kelly, get on your game, bro. You got to get on your game. You got to, an offensive line, you got to step up. You got to step up. There's no way around it. The change has to be made. JPJ has to go back to center.
There you go. Scotty, call it in. Can I get Mark Davis on the line?
Yeah. 1-800-MD.
1-800-MD. All right, let's look ahead into next week. We can't do anything about last week. 1-1. I said I thought they were going to go into this game and lose. Obviously, they always have a chance to win. If Jaden Daniels is out, I think that gives the Raiders a better chance to win. And I think it's huge because, to your point, Scotty, you've been saying all along, if the games are switched, what happens, right? So who cares? If the Raiders end up 2-1 after this week 3, I think that's a success for the season so far
Absolutely.
after 3 weeks. It may not
Absolutely.
have happened the way we all thought it was going to happen, but if the Raiders can come out 2-1, I think that's great going into week 4. Of course, we're going to have to clean up all the mistakes. There's too many mistakes. You have to protect the quarterback better. Clearly, Geno needs more time, and he's not going to make something out of nothing. I think, if nothing, like I feel like we've learned that from week 2. He's not going to make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
From what I saw. You got to get more production in the running game and balance out the offense. What did we see in the very first game? On the very first drive, especially, every position touched it, right?
Yep.
We had productivity from different wide receivers, tight end, running back. I don't think we saw that really in week 2 here against the Chargers.
We did not. We did not. No.
And then how does everyone adjust? We've been talking about this all along. Kelly, Carroll, Graham, how do they adjust? You've seen it now. You've had 2 looks at it and played 2 different ways, I think, from what I saw.
Completely two different teams.
2 different.
2 different teams. Yeah.
And you could say, oh, it's 2 different teams in performance, but it wasn't like in how they played and how they were told to play and the play calling and things of that nature. So what are they going to take from these 2 games, and what are they going to apply to the third that's going to make them successful? And I think that's going to be huge going into this game. Scotty?
I think everything is dependent on the 3 interior offensive linemen. Period. Everything.
And we don't even know how that's going to look.
And we don't. I think that's what it depends on. I think that's the win or the loss. What happens with that offensive line, the 3 interior, the center and the 2 guards. If JPJ is out, we're gonna lose this game. If JPJ isn't at center,
you think it's the pet? You think he's that important?
I think that he's that important.
Wow, that's big.
At the center position, yes.
Okay.
I think he's that important at the center position. Yeah. And I'm a critic of JPJ. The dumb penalties. I've said before, JPJ is going at 100. I want him to dial it back to 98. Clean up those penalties. Just clean it up. Tighten it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. I like his toughness, but I think if JPJ isn't at center and if Meredith is at center, I think that does change games. Absolutely, 100%.
Well, let me go over a little bit of the injury report going into week 3. The Raiders at the Commanders. They're a lot more injured than we are. We have Brock Bowers, Jeremy Chin, and JPJ all on the sort of injured list, if you will. However, they all had limited practice. So they are active. On the other end, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think 10 or 11 Commanders that are on the injured list, including 6 in total that didn't practice at all, including, of course, their quarterback, Jaden Daniels. So that's a beat-up team over there already. Going in after 2 games, that's a beat-up team.
Yeah. It's a winnable game. Again, Monday night was a winnable game. We stopped them 3 times at the end of the game and to give our offense a chance to score some points. And like I said, the Chargers are at least a top 5 team in the NFL right now. So if we can get JPJ back, I'm hoping Brock Bowers can go. If not, he needs to sit out. Period. Don't play him sometimes and prolong and sit him out and let it be what it is at week 3.
And let's look at. I mean, they've got John, the Commanders have John Bates and Zach Ertz, 2 tight ends that did not practice to go along with Jaden McDaniels. Noah Brown, wide receiver, Von Miller, and I think like 2 other players or something like that. So,
Von Miller, I thought he was dead. Von Miller's still playing? You serious?
I thought he was too.
Nah, Von Miller. Hey, you got to respect Von Miller no matter what. But
Nah, he was
nah,
cool back in he was cool back in the day. Point is, they've got a lot of people on their injured reserve. He's not the most notable, of course, but I was just mentioning it.
sure, no. Again, Jaden Daniels being out will definitely help us. We'd be going up against Marcus Mariota. Woo, woo. Again, if we make any changes this year, I'll say it again. Can we not make a has-been an NFL star in one damn week, please? Raiders, please, can we not do this, especially one that was on our team? Golly.
Yeah.
But we got to get after it, man. We got to get after it. That offense, that defensive line has got to get after that quarterback. We got to put him down. But the offensive line, I think, is the key to our wins. I think Geno can throw the ball. I think Gentry can run the ball. I think Bowers can catch the ball, and it's all dependent on that offensive line.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm not as sold on JPJ being the factor of a winner or loss as you are, but
I think at center Meredith is missing play. The things that I've seen Meredith. He's like,
I agree with you. Oh, I agree with that part of it. Yeah.
The center is the one that says, "Hey, man, look at this guy over here. Look at this guy over here." And Meredith is calling the wrong guy out. He's calling the wrong guy out. And then, hold on. Let's talk about Meredith. How many times, and I was looking at this live, so you guys got the replay.
Real quick, I can't even believe that's a sentence that came out of your mouth. Hold that thought, because we didn't even know who this guy was last season. All of a sudden, he's our starting center, and you said, "Let's talk about Meredith." Hey. Sorry, I digress. Go ahead. I just think it's funny.
How many times was the snap taken by Geno, and he's reaching to the right, reaching to the left, reaching down on the ground? Come on, man. That's the most basic damn part of the game. And it was time after time. I saw it live. So I didn't have the benefit of replay. But how many times was he reaching for the ball every damn other play other than in his damn hands? The center's got to go. The center's got to go. It throws out the timing. It throws out the play. It throws everything off. Yes, I think the center is that important. And you're saying you think JPJ is that important. Well, I think JPJ is the best center we have. So yes.
No. I agree with all that. I thought you said earlier our win or loss depends on him under center or at center. I'm not sure about that.
No, our win or loss depends on the three interior linemen, the center and the two guards. And I think JPJ and the guards are questionable. So it comes down to JPJ at the center. So in a roundabout way, yeah, I guess I am saying that. If you will. But I see what you're saying. Is JPJ that important to the? Well, it's not that. It's that he's the best we got. It's that's what we have. So
the best option.
Yeah, that's the best option. And I think Charles Grant, suit up, bro. Be ready. Be ready to get thrown in there at guard. Be ready, because I want to give him a shot.
Let's see. Let's take some of these comments here. Omar, I don't know where you're pulling this from, but we'll go with it. 34% Raiders fans in Washington versus Commanders. I don't know if he's looking at a stat or making a prediction.
No, I think that's you know how they when sometimes like StubHub will put out who's bought tickets.
Who bought the tickets?
I think that's what he's referring to. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. I know there's a good representation out there. There was a pretty good representation last year when the Raiders played in Baltimore. So we'll see. Probably it's like same crowd, really.
Mm-hmm.
Raider Travis says Geno needs to stop forcing throws and double, triple coverage. We kind of talked about that earlier. Scotty, you disagreed with that, though, didn't you? You thought it was okay. He was just throwing in the wrong place.
Well, some of the balls I think were thrown in the wrong place. There was 2-3 that, you got Thornton out there who's 6, whatever he is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But throw the ball up. But he's throwing it, it's coming out flat. throwing it to double and triple coverage, that is what Geno Smith has been his whole career. That's why he has so many damn interceptions, which is his biggest knock, Raider Travis. And he was doing that. And you're right. He does need to stop doing that. But I think, I'm sorry, I got to go back to the offensive line. He was trying to force some things because that's all he had. That's all he had to go with. He didn't have a sharp Brock Bowers to bail him out. He was going to Ashton Jeanty a lot in the flat to bail him out on the check down, and they were all over that. So yeah, he needs to stop doing into double. And I'm not giving Geno Smith a pass, but I think there were some times that's all he had, and he was like, "Let's see if he can get it." I don't know, but again, I'm not giving Geno Smith a pass on this. He had a horrible game, but I think it comes back to that offensive line, no matter what.
Let's just talk about this just a little bit. We don't have to dwell on it. But speaking of Geno Smith having a horrible game, which is a fact, he had a really good game in the first week. He had a horrible game in the second week, and those are just the numbers.
Yep.
Facts are facts.
Yep.
But how far do we take this as fans? Because I feel like the head coach is one of them at one of these topics, and the quarterback's one of these topics where these fans will cling to one person or another and immediately want to, quote unquote, call for the firing of one of these personnel.
Get him out.
Are we like there with him?
I heard some people talking about AOC.
Stop.
Shut the hell up. Stop it. Again, I'm going to go back to two things. If the weeks were reversed, we'd be singing a different tune. And second, if you say you got a new GM, new coach, new this, and you're 1-1, would you not expect exactly what we have right now? I think the answer is yes.
I do.
Absolutely.
I personally do, yes.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. So
Setting You Straight says it's time to commit to the run. Jeanty should get 22 touches minimum on Sunday, 19 and 20 runs, and 2 to 3 catches. I know, Scotty, I know you agreeing with this.
I totally agree. Setting You Straight. I totally agree. But the thing is, can he get that productively with the offensive line that we have? That's the only issue.
Yeah.
Again, all roads are pointing back to that offensive line.
Yeah, that's true.
All roads are pointing back. Geno can throw the ball. Jeanty can run the ball. But damn, if your linemen are getting pushed back into you, you're limited on what you can do.
Well, that's part of the problem, right? If teams are seeing that the run game isn't going to develop, we really need the run game to develop for the tight ends and the wide receivers to be an option.
That's why Geno Smith was throwing into double and triple coverage, because we couldn't get the run game going, and they knew it. So now they're going to go heavy on the pass coverage, and that's why that happened that way.
Omar says Geno needs help from the running game and more short passes to set up the deep pass. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Basically, all saying the same thing here.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we can see it as fans, hopefully they can see it as coaches, and they can make these adjustments. We definitely won't be. Travis says we definitely won't be bettering ourselves if we keep changing coaches. Yeah, absolutely not. We gotta stick this. Oh, no. Hey, salute, Omar, salute. This can be done with a 2 tight end set.
No, but we laugh at it, but he's absolutely right. For sure. The 2 tight ends, they're big guys. That's what they're made for. That's what their job is to help that offensive line out. So hey, let's look back. Jeanty made a hell of a block week 1 for that first touchdown to Trey Tucker. He made a hell of a block on that. So even the running back in that situation to go along with what Omar, but that comes with that 12 personnel that Omar's talking about. So he's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yep, definitely. Well, All we can hope for is the best. It was fun. Like I said, I think I said this last week. It was, I forgot how fun it was to watch football because the Raiders came out and I was loving it. And now this week, it was a reminder that it's not always so fun as a Raiders fan. you
Now,
know?
I think we might be okay. I think we might be okay. Um, Chip Kelly's got to step up in that offensive line. I just can't get away from that. I just can't get away from that. It starts right there. You know, there's you win the games in the trenches. That's not a saying for nothing.
Yeah.
That's because that's the way that works. You know, and we're not winning the trenches on the offensive line. We're not winning the trench. No, we're getting killed, and we got killed the first game too on the offensive line.
Yeah.
So that's just got to be the focal point.
Yeah, and I don't think
then,
there's any adjustments or anything that can really be done to that unless, like, I think most of us here agree that put JPJ at center. But other than that, that's their personnel, and that's going to be. I think that's going to be a struggle all season long. But yes, Mother Moon, thanks for the reminder. Enter the raffle. We have another raffle going. Scotty Waddy Raider won. Entered the raffle for the home opener. Ended up winning that. So enter for a chance to win 2 tickets. Monday Night Football at Allegiant Stadium. Raiders versus Cowboys, November 17th. It's only $10 to enter. Like I said, even if you can't make it, throw $10 in the ring because you can sell these tickets for over $500 each. So that's $1,000 you can make if you happen to win. If you want to give it a chance and throw $10 in.
and if I can edify that section 430, row 4, seat 9 and 10, I was sitting in those seats, me and my son, this past Monday. It's great seats. I like sitting at that level because I can see the whole field. I'd rather sit there than lower. I can see the whole field. Man, I really like those seats. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And it's true. Yeah, you can really see the play. It sounds high, and I know everybody wants to be up close, but you can't, yeah, like you said, you can't really see what's going on when you're on the front row, especially if you're on one side or the other. It's really hard to see the opposite end of the field.
Yep.
When you
Yep.
can really see, it's fun to see the plays developed
Yep.
from
Yep.
these. You can really see them develop. It's almost like watching the film tape.
I particularly like I don't like sitting at field level as much as I like sitting a little bit higher because I come to watch the game. I want to watch the whole thing. You
Yeah.
know?
I feel ya. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. We'll be back at our regular time next week for Monday Night Madness next Monday after hopefully the Raiders win and become 2-1. So look out for that. And we want you to join us next week and join the madness. All right, Scotty Waddy, thanks for joining us, everybody. You know, Raider Nation, we go out one way and only one way.
Raiders!